The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things this morning. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. License number WV030133. Phone calls to the show. A service of Guarantee Bank, 1320 Kanawha Boulevard, East in Charleston. Guarantee Bank, your community, your bank, your story. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor. The end of bolt sale continues through the 29th of this month. Take up to 50% off select jackets and suits, and Tony's Black Label make custom garments with all kinds of different fabrics. Tony has custom shirts too. Buy 3, get 1 free, or buy 4 and get 2 free, including Thomas Mason fabrics. And ask about the Samuelson end of bolt sale. Take as much as 25 to 30% off. Check out bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says the smoke and haze continue. Today will be in the upper 80s. Humid tonight, lows of below 70s. And tomorrow, you have to keep a close eye on things, according to Brian. We're talking about severe storms tomorrow, folks. This one could get bad. Damaging winds, heavy downpours, even tornadoes are possible. And the heavy downpours, Brian says, could lead to flooding overnight tomorrow night before everything starts to calm down. High tomorrow in the upper 80s. We should calm down as we head into Wednesday and through the end of the week. And with the severe weather in the forecast for tomorrow, great time to remind you to download the Metro News television app. Follow Brian's team of meteorologists on social media as well. Coming up, it is Monday, which means we get a visit from Danny Jones. Going to take over to Capitol Market, where they're getting ready for their Taste of Appalachia dinner on Thursday night. Chuck McGill joined us to talk about that. Plus, your calls and texts are always welcome, too. Welcome into the show now. Republican delegate from the 55th, it's J.B. Akers. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
What's up, my man? How are you today? Hope you had a good weekend.
I was going to ask you how your summer's gone so far.
It's gone great, although it has been consumed with getting our twins ready for college. They're about to leave, and we're excited for them, man. But I got to tell you what, like this morning, for some reason, we get up early, and I was like super depressed thinking about them being gone. It's going to be tough. We just love having them around. I mean, we have 3 kids. Our older daughter's in college already. So, man, it's going to be a strange transition. Like just the total quiet in the house. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it.
As a non-parent, I'll say you may not like it for a while, but then when they come back, this is what my friends have told me. Well, then when they come back in for, let's say, Thanksgiving or whatever, then you're kind of like, hey, remember how quiet it used to be in this house?
Yeah. Well, they'll become their own people too. Like I know that's going to happen, and they can't be, kids forever. They got to grow up, and we're excited for them. But I tell you, we're going to miss them a lot.
Where are they going to school?
So our older daughter right now was at Ohio University in Athens, and her younger brother, one of our twins, he'll be there with her for a year. He's going to be a freshman there in the fall, but his twin sister is going to go to University of South Carolina in Columbia. So they're going to split up. This will be the first time they haven't been together, so that'll be an unusual time for them as well.
All right. A couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. I want to talk about bridges. All right. You and I were joking about building bridges, which is what you try to do at the Capitol, hopefully.
Do my best.
But I want to talk about actual bridges here. There's some pre-project type work being done to get ready for the deck replacement on the Carter Bridge for one. I know you've been kind of monitoring all this. Talk about this.
Well, the Eugene Carter Bridge or the Fort Hill Bridge, people call it both things, that one's set to begin construction. There'll be some pre-construction stuff that happens in the fall, but then when we get to 2027, and it'll be in full swing on the construction for that bridge. And that's going to be a huge project. That's the busiest bridge in the entire state of West Virginia. It's got the most traffic by far. It's really an East Coast connector bridge. There's just a lot of traffic that flows across that bridge from all over the eastern U.S., and that's a major project. There's been a lot of deferred maintenance over the years. There was a 2025 kind of like redecking of that bridge, which helped solve some of the problems in the short term, but it really needs a long-term fix. So I gave the governor credit last week and the Department of Transportation, Secretary Rumbaugh, that, new construction is where all the fanfare is. When you build something new that's never been there before, people like that, the ribbon cutting, and it's something, shiny. The maintenance programs don't get any fanfare, and really it's the opposite. People a lot of times become critical because we need our bridges and roads to be fixed, but it's a big inconvenience when that's happening. And this Fort Hill Bridge, it'll take a year to probably get this thing done. So it's going to cause some issues. I know they're going to do the very best they can at DOT to make those inconveniences as small as possible, but there's no doubt it's going to back up traffic on some days, and people are going to have to, improvise. But, so that's one where you're not building something new. When it's over, it's almost like if you put a new roof on your house, like, oh, great, I spent a bunch of money and it looks the same as it did before, basically. But this is a really important project, and the fact that they're actually going to commit to a long-term repair of this bridge is really important. But it's also part of a bigger project in Kanawha County, the Charleston metro area, which is really important to this area of the state, which is the 50 by 5 program. So within the next 5 years, the DOT is committed to repairing or upgrading 50 bridges in the Charleston metro area, the Fort Hill Bridge being the biggest one. But there's 50 bridges in total which will be repaired or upgraded. So this is a really important time as far as those types of projects go. And I'm someone as a delegate who I've always said I don't think we can spend enough money in infrastructure. Like, I'm always in favor of spending as much as possible on road projects, water, sewer, broadband. I'm a big infrastructure guy.
I want to make sure that people, to use the overused cliches, JB, people pack their patience, because this is going to be a major project. As you said, they're going to start in the fall doing some work to get ready for it. Best case scenario, about mid-January of next year until mid-December. I mean, it's going to be every day. I don't know if it's going to be 7 days a week. It probably will. So it's going to be a major, as you said, a major inconvenience, but it's got to be done. I mean, every so often there's these things that pop up. As you said, in 2025, they were doing some of the work on there, and major, potholes and so on. And I mean, once you can, I'm no engineer, but once you can see what's under the bridge, you got a problem.
That's a little scary, buddy. So, there have been several news stories in the past couple of years where that's happened. Like, we've had some potholes in that bridge that have been so severe that you really have been able to see down into the river. So, this is one of those ones where it's a double-edged sword. People complain, they're like, well, this bridge needs to be fixed. And we're like, well, we're finally going to do it. It's going to be a big-time, long-term fix. But it's going to be a big change. I think, there's going to be a period of time when half the bridge is closed. Like, all the traffic is going to be on one side of the road. So that's going to be a big change for a while.
Do you remember a few years ago when they had the contour lanes here in Charleston?
Yes.
You remember what that was like?
Not pleasant. Yeah.
Not pleasant. Well, but look, again, it has to be done. And this is the most traveled bridge in the state of West Virginia. And you said not just by West Virginians. This is a major artery for interstate travel.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, again, I applaud the administration for doing this and Secretary Rumbaugh for making this a priority. And I think while this one's going on, they're going to focus most of their Kanawha County resources on this project. But again, want to emphasize to folks, this is part of a broader 50 bridge project for this Charleston metro area. So there's a lot of resources that are going to be dedicated to this area soon. And I'll tell you, like, the Kanawha County delegation as a whole, when it comes to infrastructure, all my colleagues and peers, they're good on infrastructure projects. I got to give them credit and say that they are always advocating for that as a delegation. We got a few knuckleheads here and there in different parts of the state who will do things like vote against the budget and say we spend too much money. I think there are places where we can definitely be more efficient, but when it comes to road and bridge projects, again, I think we probably can't spend too much. Those are really important.
And I have a tendency, to agree with that. And speaking of, you said knuckleheads, not me. Speaking of working together and things of that nature, there has been several questions here as of late, and within the legislature, and some delegates, Republicans and Democrats, calling for taking a look at the school aid formula again, and we don't seem to get anywhere on foster care and things of that nature. I know that you've been closely involved with a lot of these things.
Yeah, well, on the foster care side, the committee that I chair in the House, which is the House Judiciary Committee, that's a big area of focus for us, and it has been for a couple of years while I've chaired that committee, and we had a couple big initiatives through that committee the past couple of years. So foster care is a priority of mine. That's something else I think, at least for now, we can't pay too much attention to. It's critical. And then, when you talk about some of the other issues that you brought up, what was the other one you just said? I apologize. The foster care got in my head.
The school aid.
The school aid formula. That is, to me, the school aid formula. Even before I was in the legislature, if I would ask someone to explain that, they can never explain it in less than 30 to 60 seconds. And even when they do, you don't really understand what they told you a lot of times. And even now as a delegate, that formula is still confusing. So to me, I'm like, that thing needs a major overhaul. I mean, if you can't look at your constituents and tell them in less than a minute what that thing is and how it works, that's a problem. And I also think personally we should move to what we call a student-based resource formula, like a lot of other states use. I think that would be more effective. The special education costs, we all know, are skyrocketing. And so, and there are different ways, I think, to attack that problem, and there's no one easy fix. But one of the things I have personally advocated for is, and this won't solve it all, but I think this is something we have to do, is I think we finally have to take this 55 county boards of education issue head on and consolidate some of those and say we don't need 55 county boards. And I'll get some resistance to that.
Oh, yeah.
And some pushback for sure. There are a lot of counties where the boards of education are the largest employers, and I get it. That's going to be controversial.
And big centers of power within the county,
correct.
too.
Oh, political power for sure. But what we're seeing now is repeatedly, how many times do we see counties where the state's having to step in and, take these county boards over? And so I think that's one of the ways we can be more efficient, and we should have done that a while back. But again, there's a lot of people who don't want to vote for that because they go back home, and it's going to cause them some heartburn when they go back to their home county. So, but that's one of the things I have advocated for, and I had a bill in that last session, which was to consolidate the county boards and not do it immediately and haphazardly. I think I had a 3-year window in the bill that I proposed, which was, let's take our time and study this and figure out what the best solution is. But I think having 55 is just too many, and that's not going to solve it all, but that would help some.
Well, and I think you're right about that. And again, we're talking about a lot of the smaller counties, and we don't want to make it look like we're picking on our smaller counties, but it is what it is. I mean, do we? And some people have even said, do we even need 55 counties?
Yeah, I'm not going to try to do that right now, Dave. I can only do so much.
Right,
yeah, so I mean, maybe I think because of our rural nature, there's a reason why we had 55 counties back in the day, because transportation was difficult and it was hard to get from one county to another, and sometimes it still is. But I think for now, at least, the 55 county boards, we need to take a serious look at that and ask if we need that many. Personally, I don't think that we do. And I'm not just trying to pick on the small counties. If we have to divide up some of the larger counties, if that's what the fairest way to do it is, then that's something we can look at as well.
Well, and I know in some other states, Ohio is one, you have city school systems.
You still do.
And you have county school systems. And so, for example, you might have, and this is not going to happen, but I'm just saying, you could have the city of Charleston schools, but the county schools would be over, let's say, Riverside or something like that, just for an example.
Yeah, that's the way some states do it. I don't know if that'd be the best model for West Virginia based upon our demographics, but different states do it different ways, Sean.
Delegate J.B. Akers, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Awesome seeing you, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, 9:20, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. Huston's July special: buy any regularly priced large 18-inch pizza and get a 2-liter bottle of any Pepsi product for free. Check out your nearest Huston's for dine-in or pick up at HustonsPizza.com. Chuck McGill from Capital Market when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Have you been injured in a trucking incident?
Call today, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Hi, I'm Lucas Gardner, Project Manager 3 at Civil and Environmental Consultants. What makes a career truly rewarding? It starts with growth. At CEC, we nurture talent from the ground up. From entry level to expert, we build careers that matter. Our projects aren't just blueprints, they're blueprints for community success. And with our employee ownership program, you're not just working for CEC, you're investing in your future. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit CECinc.com.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Winfield Town first, and then move to Scott District to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at PutnamCOAssessor.com. That's PutnamCOAssessor.com.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show. 9:23. Danny Jones coming up a little bit later on in the show. Texas Dave, I happened to see an article on flock cameras on MS Now yesterday. It was pretty scary. They are way more than license plate readers, says a texter. Texas State is failing its students, but even more specifically, our special needs students. Total special education expenditures recently surpassed $584 million in a single fiscal year because state and federal funding only covers a portion of these costs. Local districts face statewide shortfalls of well over $180 million annually. Despite having the nation's fifth highest rate of special ed students, West Virginia consistently ranks near the bottom of all states for special education funding amounts. Regardless of any funding formula the state comes up with, our residents need to financially support education with more local taxes. You get what you pay for, says a texter. Let's bring in our good friend now, Chuck McGill from Capital Market. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave.
Thank you for being here. Got a big event coming up Thursday night. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a Taste of Appalachia. It's a Tapa-style dinner. But, Dave, I've got to tell your listeners off the top, I just checked before I hopped on the call. We have one ticket left.
One ticket.
So 100 seats, 99 have been taken. So if anyone out here gets pulled in by what I have to say, you're in a race with everybody else right now.
And you're going to have to tell your significant other, if you have one, that, well, guess what? You're going to have to stay home.
Yeah, but it's going to be worth it because it is an incredible menu. Chef Chase Collier of Abruzzi, the executive chef at Abruzzi, has put together the menu. It's a 10-course meal with all Appalachian inspired. So it's really, really neat concept. We have a really incredible menu that includes, oyster and pinto bean hummus. There's a deviled egg with red pepper jelly and caviar, a salad, and some other things that I'm really excited to tell you some backstories on. But it's all, Chef Chase is from Wise County, Virginia. He can be obviously from Virginia, in Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia within an hour. Raised on his family dinners and farm to table kind of food. In the heart of Appalachia. So really deeply inspired menu by him.
What part of Appalachia does caviar come into play?
Hey, it's a upscale, finer dining version.
I got it.
So yeah, we're going to elevate all of our.
Well, we do like aquatic. We like to eat things from the water here in West Virginia. Not exactly like you're eating crappie or whatever, but hey, who knows? Pinto bean hummus, Chuck?
Yeah, it's going to have a ramp pesto. And then we'll have buttermilk crackers and baby vegetables. That's one he's really excited for. Chef Chase was raised on pinto beans and cornbread, so we have a couple different cornbread inspired parts of this. We have cornbread croutons that are going to be part of the summer corn gazpacho. It's the first time Chef Chase has done a cold soup, and he's really excited about that one. And of course, the pinto beans and cornbread. That's just an Appalachian staple that when he was sitting down for his family dinners, that's something that he could always count on having.
Well, so we just had a text to the show, Chuck, that said, did he just say pinto bean hummus?
I did say pinto bean hummus, ramp pesto, buttermilk crackers, baby vegetables. And that's course number 2 of 10.
Okay, well, take us through a couple of the other menu items there. A 10-course meal? I mean, even by my standards, that's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food, but you get to try a lot. So there's 2 that I really want to point out.
Okay.
After course 6, we're working with Cafe Romeo for a pawpaw sorbet. Now, pawpaws are not all completely into season, but luckily Chef Chase had frozen about 50 pounds of pawpaw from last fall and contacted Cafe Romeo to put together this sorbet. Super excited about doing it. So that's going to be an interesting mid-meal little treat. The other one that we're really excited for is the barbecue pork. Now, this is made with Iberico pork, which is imported from Spain. This is like the best cut of meat you can possibly get. And then where I like that, you have an elevated version of Appalachia on this, is that's going to be served with apple butter and potato salad. Now, the apple butter is one of Chef Chase's grandmother's recipes, and the potato salad is his other grandmother's recipe.
Well, I think when you become a grandmother, automatically, I think it's like the law or in the Bible or something, that when you become a grandmother, you automatically start making potato salad.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really excited for that because it brings that Iberico pork in, but then combines two different grandmothers that we get to taste their creation. So that's the one I'm personally most excited for, and I think is especially inspired by him and his roots.
Can we refer to them as mamaws though, and not grandma? Because this is West Virginia.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what his names were for his grandmothers, but I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, well, I know Wise County, Virginia. I've been there many, many times. It's not far from here, so I'd say there's a fair share of mamaws and papaws down there. We had a text here that says, "Okay, if we're going to Appalachian, especially for West Virginia, there's got to be pepperoni roll inspired dishes in there somewhere."
There actually isn't. So I'll walk you through. We start with a fresh oyster, then pinto bean hummus, a tomato celebration, deviled egg, the summer corn gazpacho that I referenced, a summer peach salad that does include J.Q. Dickinson salt, then the pawpaw sorbet, the barbecue pork, a salmon cake with ramp aioli. So there's lots of ramp inspired. Chef Chase met with his whole team there at Abruzzi to kind of collect all these ideas, right? All these Appalachian inspired themes. Then we'll end with a banana pudding and a buttermilk blueberry pie. And this is for both the 99 people who have purchased tickets and the one that's still lingering out there. Chef Chase has promised a take-home gift after course number 10. He has not told me what this is. It is a surprise, but he's working on it, and everybody will get to take something home with them, too.
Well, if you're having a 10-course meal, I would suggest Malanta at that point. That might be a good take-home gift. With all due respect to Chef Chase, he's fabulous, but I'm just saying that is a lot of food. But as you said, you would just be sampling little bits and pieces of everything.
Sampling little bits and pieces. So we worked with Chef Chase before for a Feast of the Seven Fishes dinner in December. And it really was like you got a nice sampling of everything across the board and didn't leave too full. But, we could have some to-go boxes, too. Nothing's going to go to waste.
We're talking to Chuck McGill of Capital Market, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We do want to make sure, though, that people, when I was texting with you yesterday about this, I didn't know. I knew tickets were going quickly. I didn't know that you'd sold 99 out of 100. So literally, folks, there is one ticket left out there. How do people get that one ticket?
Yeah, just go to capitalmarket.net and you can click on events and it'll be the top listed events because it's our next event. So Thursday night from 6 to 8 at Capital Market outside. Looks like great weather and it's going to be an incredible menu. So these are the type of events we're going to continue building and hosting. Candace Nelson, our deputy executive director, has great ideas coming up with some of these dinners. So kudos to her and our team. And then Chef Chase and his team for putting this all together.
I'm just wanting for a review of the pinto bean hummus. That sounds like an interesting concept to me.
I'll go live or something and directly address you on Facebook.
There you go.
So yeah, I'll give you a direct report on the pinto bean hummus. I'm pretty excited for it.
All right. So we had a text here too. It said, "Will there be a cookbook for sale specifically for this menu that anyone could buy?
Oh,
maybe the money could go to charity," says the texter.
Hey, that's a good idea. We're looking for all those ideas. Capital Market is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're here to be good community partners, and we do have all the menus printed up, so you will have a menu at your seat with everything that's in each dish. So nothing's a secret. It won't just be the what you're eating, but everything that's contained within it. So you can take those home too and see if you can replicate it.
All right. Chuck McGill, Capital Market, Thursday night. There is literally only one ticket left, folks, so you need to get it probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Good luck with everything. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
All right. One ticket left, folks. One. 28 minutes away from 10. Hey, I want to tell you about a big event that's going to be happening down in my home area of Logan County. Logan Regional Medical Center is celebrating their 100th anniversary, and they are doing this big old free concert. It is absolutely free. Saturday, August 8th at Logan Football Stadium. Gates are going to open at 3 in the afternoon. Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. I don't need to say anything more about Ricky Skaggs, a legend in the world of music. He and Kentucky Thunder Band will be playing America's Got Talent winner Landau Eugene Murphy Jr., the Davison Brothers Band, Del Nora, Motown legends, the Voices of Classic Soul featuring members of the Temptations, the Four Tops, the Drifters, the Mountain Stage Band, and more. And again, it is totally free. That's the cool thing about it. They have fireworks, all kinds of things for the kids to do. I'm going to be serving as your MC. Looking forward to seeing you there for that. If you need more information, you can visit the Logan Regional Medical Center page. Couple of housekeeping notes. Appreciate everyone coming out to see us at Trojan Landing Marina Power Sports on Saturday as we had the culmination of the Ride and Riches contest. Want to say congratulations to Van Jordan of Elkview. He was a grand prize winner, won that Segway UT6M side by side and $1,000 in cash. Good day for that gentleman for sure. Gave away a ton of other cool prizes too. So thanks to everybody that came out and all of our sponsors, of course, and Trojan Landing Marina Power Sports. We love working with those folks and looking forward to our next big promotion with them. Coming up later today, Metro News Midday, 13 News, and tonight, live anchor Amanda Barrett and me. Senator Patricia Rucker is going to join us. We had her scheduled last week, but she had to postpone due to an illness. She is back. Jeff Jenkins will have the news. TJ Meadows will stop by. State Democratic Party Chair Mike Pushkin is here. Our good friend Andrew Donaldson, and of course, Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and tonight, live anchor Amanda Barrett and me, powered by Salango Law. Coming up at noon today on this show tomorrow. Among the other, State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey is sent to stop by. Texts about the capital market. What about for those not going to Cookbook to order? Well, I think Chuck seemed to like the idea, to be honest with you. And when you talk about doing it for charity, they're a nonprofit organization, so they might be the charity over Capital Market. Text here about the flock cameras. I guess the flock cameras store all data, videos, audio, and locations on their servers and are given to the government based on the government's pay package, but all the data is in their servers regardless, says a texter. All right, we're going to take a break. It's 26 minutes away from 10. Danny Jones is coming up next. Guarantee Bank Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
What if the market drops after you retire? What if healthcare costs continue to rise? What if you outlive your savings? If these questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I specialize in retirement income planning. Let's turn your what-ifs into a plan you can count on. Schedule your free consultation today at 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
You may think speeding a little isn't really speeding, but even a few miles over the limit has consequences. First, there's the fine. Your first offense could cost you $100 plus court costs, and you'll pay a lot more if it's your second or third offense. Eventually, you can lose your license or even go to jail. And those are minor consequences. Speeding causes 10,000 deaths each year. So next time you think a few miles over isn't a big deal, think again. This message is brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Charleston, there's a new bank in town, but it's built on something timeless: relationships. Guarantee Bank is now open on the Boulevard, bringing community banking back to the Kanawha Valley. We're local decision makers, real people, and a team that understands West Virginia business. Whether you're growing your company, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Stop by our new Charleston branch at 1320 Kanawha Boulevard and experience banking the way it should be. Guarantee Bank, where community comes first.
Start your Sunday with hope and inspiration on 580 WCHS. Begin at 6 with Amazing Americans, West Virginia Gospel Hour, inspirational truths, focus on the valley, words of truth from Washington Street Church of God, Revival Crusades, A Time of Blessing, Mount Calvary Baptist Church, and First Presbyterian Church at 11. Uplifting voices, encouraging messages, and spiritual nourishment every Sunday morning. The Voice of Charleston, 580 WCHS.
23 minutes away from 10 on a Monday morning. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things on the other side of the glass. Guarantee Bank hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Invite you to join me every Friday morning 9:06 for the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Canal Charleston Humane Association, brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors, family owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years, specializing in custom blinds, shade, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods, homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial spaces. They do it all, located at 516 D Street in South Charleston. Welcome to the show now, former sheriff, restaurateur, legislator, gravedigger, author, actor, and car show winner.
Race car driver.
Race car driver. I just keep adding to it. Danny Jones, how you doing, man?
Good. That was fun. That car show was fun.
You're still going to be talking about that for a long time, aren't you?
Well, here's the deal. There were 28 prizes given away. I haven't talked about this, have I?
Yeah, we talked about it last couple of weeks, but that's okay. Talk about it again.
Well, there were 28 prizes given away. 3 of them had money.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was, they had the People's Choice Award from outside of Leisure World.
It's out in California, by the way.
Yeah. And then they had the people that lived in 10,000 people lived there.
Yeah. It's like a small city. Or actually, it's probably a medium-sized city, I guess.
Yeah. And so, unlike people that, when you have a car show, they get those chairs which almost hit the ground, and they sit in them and just relax. I stood in front of my car with my Vietnam shirt on, and there were a lot of Vietnam veterans. And everybody came by and wanted to take a picture with my car. So I said, I'll take a picture of you all with the car. And then I'd snap a picture of my information. And I say, do you all live here? And they say, yeah, we live here. I said, are you going to vote in the People's Choice Award? Well, we didn't know you could vote. Oh, yeah, you can vote right over there. And I don't know if you've picked anybody or not, but just in case you haven't, I appreciate you considering me. Don't get political against me, okay?
This is basically the same spiel that you used when you ran for office, right? I don't know if you have a candidate yet or if you've chosen one, but if not, I would appreciate you considering me.
That's right. But of course, the car is beautiful. But I stood in front of it instead of behind it, and I didn't sit down. I stood up the whole time, and I worked it. I worked the crowd, so I got the People's Choice Award and $50 and a plaque, and there were a lot of nice cars there. If I hadn't won, I couldn't have felt bad.
Now, for people that haven't been listening the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the saga of this car and this car show you won. Remind people what kind of car it is, what year?
It's a 1959 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. It's a 4-door hardtop. And
the door on that car is probably bigger than a lot of cars today. That's how they used to make cars.
It's a fun car to drive.
Kind of engines again in it?
Oh, I don't know, 400 cubic inch, something like that. I have no idea.
Pretty fast, though?
I don't know. I drove it out there. It went okay. I mean, it'll go 70 miles an hour.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
You know, I'll be 76 next month. I'm not out there.
Your racing days are behind you?
I don't do that, but the Nomad's supposed to be finished by the end of the summer.
That's what you're telling me. I'm excited about that. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to that. Go ahead.
I just want to ask you something about a couple things in the news. I'd love to get your perspective. You've been following all this with the controversy over the flock cameras.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, on Friday's midday show, I talked to Mayor Patrick Farrell of Huntington, and this has been going on, for some time. Various parts of the state of West Virginia and all over the country, people debating these flock cameras, and they had a city council meeting in Huntington last Monday night, I guess, that went, or maybe it wasn't Monday. It was one night last week. Went till 4 a.m. the next morning. They started at 6 or 7, went till 4 a.m. the next morning. People protesting in the streets about it and so on and so forth. Do you have an opinion on them?
Well, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Do these cameras take pictures of license plates and then send you a ticket?
No, not necessarily. But now there are different types of, just like with anything else, Danny, you can order different packages. If a city, it can do as much or as little as you want. What the mayor of Huntington was talking about, that he was excited about it because it has things like gunshot detection on it. They're not using it to send you a ticket in the mail because you ran a stop sign, for example. That's not what it's being used for. It's being used for investigations and things of that nature. That's
why would somebody be against that?
Because the argument is that it is a violation of it's like a Fourth Amendment violation. You know that
it's not.
Okay, and you say it's not. Why?
No, because it's we have cameras here in this town.
Oh yeah.
We have a camera in this town. Nobody knows. There's a camera that can see a good part of the East End, and nobody knows.
Yeah, but these are a little bit more
invasive.
Yeah, for lack of a better term. I mean, because they can see a whole lot more than just what your average camera can see, depending on how they're programmed. And like in Putnam County, I interviewed the sheriff of Putnam County on the show on midday on Friday, and he said they have them there, that they placed a big order for them, but they're just going to kind of wait to activate them once they get more information about them, because I think there's things that even the people do. Well, the thing that I think is very interesting about this is how it seems to have gone beyond party lines, because the people that voted for this in Huntington City Council, there were some Republicans and there were some Democrats that voted for it. And they're the people that are against it, Danny, all had the same argument. And it's like a big brother type thing, watching everything.
So what? It's they do it in big cities. They do it everywhere. Use cameras, and you can catch people. Private businesses use them.
Yeah, but you have the argument is that I would have the right to not patronize this private business if I didn't want to be recorded. Now, granted, every business you go into has got some kind of camera. I get that. But if I were somebody that were totally against that, I could not go into that business.
A guy robs a bank, and he makes it down the street. The first thing that the city of Charleston does, they go to see who's got cameras that focus out into the street.
Right.
And they'll find a lot of private businesses, and that's how they'll find the perp.
Well, that's what happened in the Laidley Field, the shooting that took place near Laidley Field a few months ago. There was a particular business in the area that had the camera, and it was facing the street, and so that's one of the ways that they were able to track down the guy that was accused in like a matter of like 30 minutes or something.
I'm for it. I think it's good. I think they ought to. Huntington ought to hold its ground, and we went. Blackstone and me and somebody else, we went over to Virginia Beach. They have a camera system. And they showed where there was a murder or a beating or something in front of a nightclub over in Virginia Beach. And we watched it on the camera. I'm for it.
All right. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, helping to identify environmental concerns like asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor quality issues in buildings all across the state, providing inspections, testing, and accredited lab services you can trust. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. You and I we both share a fondness for Bill Maher. And I'm a couple of weeks late in this, Danny, but I did catch Vice President J.D. Vance on Bill Maher. It was a good interview. And one of my takeaways from that, I give J.D. Vance and other Republicans credit, because they'll go on his show. And he talked about this. Most Democrats will not. They featured Bill Maher yesterday on the ABC 9 o'clock show yesterday morning. Now, there are some exceptions. Gavin Newsom has gone on. Fetterman has. But as Bill says, the people of his own party, Mamdani, AOC, Chuck Schumer, even Kamala Harris, would ever go on his show.
No, they won't.
But J.D. Vance will. And Mike Pence was on a couple of weeks ago. And he had dinner with the president. The president invited him.
Mike Pence, he was so funny. He, to me, he was the hero of January 6th. Mike Pence. He was saying, Maher has a podcast that he does from his, I don't know, his basement or his house.
Something like that, yeah.
But he's sitting there smoking grass.
Yeah.
And he's going to get Pence on the podcast.
Yeah.
He's going to try to get him to smoke.
Pence said he would do it. But now he's not going to smoke weed.
He's not going to smoke any weed.
No. And J.D. Vance also said he would come down and do it, but he said, I'm also not going to smoke any weed.
Yeah.
And one of the funny things about it was, I guess they asked J.D. Vance if he saw Mike Pence's appearance on Bill Maher, and J.D. said, well, I bet that was really sex, drugs, and rock and roll, wasn't it? I mean, Vance, to me, comes across, and I know there are a lot of people that don't like him, and I'm not necessarily a fan of some of his politics either, but I will say this. He comes across as, what's the word I'm looking for? Normal. He comes across in an era that we had two consecutive presidents that sometimes struggle with putting together a sentence in Biden and Trump. Vance just comes across as being normal.
I'm not a fan of the administration, but he's got some people on there that I really like. Mm-hmm. One of them, Burgum, Secretary of Interior. Scott Bessent gave a speech while America slept at the Reagan Library. Mm-hmm. It's on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You need to see that. Okay. I mean, that guy's a winner. And my favorite is Rubio.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things that Maher brought up was he feels that the Republican nominee is either going to be J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, and you guys are going to have to fight it out among yourselves on that. I mean, I would, right now, as we sit here right now, I would probably give the edge to J.D. Vance in the Republican nomination right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate myself.
Why didn't Rubio, when he ran for president before, why didn't his message resonate? Was there just too many other people out there? Or
no, not by that time. It was just Trump. He people had caught on. They drank the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were going to be for Trump. It wasn't against Rubio. Mm-hmm. It was they were for Donald Trump, and. But he's a sharp guy. He really is. He gave a speech in Munich. Let me tell you what's going on. It's in the Wall Street Journal this morning. John Bolton. Remember him?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He got convicted, or he pled guilty to having some documents he shouldn't have had, that he had when he was National Security Advisor. And he paid $2 million fine, something like that. And he still gets sentenced in October. Mm-hmm. Now, he is on a list of 3. Him, Mike Pompeo, and Brian Hook, that the Iranians have a contract out on. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if they decide... And they had security teams. President Biden put security around them, and they had Secret Service protection. And as soon as Trump became president, he took it away. And so, but if they put John Bolton in jail, they'll kill him. Somebody will kill him.
Really?
Sure.
Going back to J.D. Vance, Texas Vance and his wife Yusha welcomed their 4th child, Alex Neil Vance, on Sunday. First vice presidential birth in 150 years.
Yeah. Well, you can still see Hillbilly Elegy or read the book. Mm-hmm. Hillbilly Elegy is on, it's on one of the platforms. Yeah. Or if not, you can buy it.
I did not read the book, but I did see the movie. And I remember my wife and I were talking about this yesterday, and I remember all the controversy of people in Appalachia that were saying that is not representative of Appalachia. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
For a lot of places it was, from somebody that's from southern West Virginia, even though this took place in Ohio, and whatever.
What was not?
Well, they thought it was an overgeneralization. But to me, it was a story about one or two families or whatever. I mean, it's a lot of what I saw. Not my family specifically, but it's a lot of what I saw. 9:51, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. More with Danny Jones after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Have you ever dreamed of a project that seemed impossible? Wondered who could bring it to life with precision and care? At Jared Construction, they don't just build, they craft futures. From historic restorations to cutting-edge designs, they have been your trusted partner since 1999. Whether it's an auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, Jarrett Construction has you covered. See more at jarrett-construction.com. WV030133.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
At Polka Valley, your savings deserve Simply More. The Simply More Money Market is designed for people who want growth, flexibility, and convenient access to their money when they need it most. Whether you're building your savings or planning for the future, Polka Valley is here to help you make the most of every dollar. Ready to learn more? Visit PolkaValleyBank.com, call 844-782-2651, or stop into your nearest Polka Valley branch today. At Polka Valley, relationships matter. Member FDIC.
7 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds are off tonight. They return to Go-Mart Ballpark tomorrow night to start a series against the Ghost Peppers of Gastonia. Busy week of Dirty Birds baseball. We'll talk about it throughout the week. You can check out dirtybirdsbaseball.com if you need more information. Danny Jones is here. Text says, yeah, Trump took the security away from all of them, but they are now private citizens and all multimillionaires, so they can afford their own private security.
Well, I don't, maybe whoever's saying that knows a lot more about their financial background than the rest of us. How do you know they're multimillionaires? How do you know Brian Hook? Do you even know who Brian Hook is? And the answer is no, they don't know who he is.
Text says, your problem with crime is not enough visible police on foot all day, every day in downtown. People want to see police all day walking from block to block, so we don't need cameras.
Wrong.
Why?
Because of the cost of the cops.
I was going to say,
it costs a lot of money to have police.
Yeah.
Now, you need cameras and so you can verify.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they put them inside of banks. No, that's wrong.
Text Dave, the top 3 worst presidents were all Republicans. Trump tops the list.
Who were the other 2?
I don't know. This is what text said. Text says J.D. Vance is a weasel. And Scott,
that's deep.
Scott Bassett is a genius. Rubio, though, needs to be the next president.
No, I agree with both those things. Scott Bassett is a genius.
Text says the flock cameras captures images and license plate numbers that are all stored in databases as if everyone is automatically a criminal suspect. Danny needs to bone up a bit in this highly controversial topic.
I'm missing the point.
They're saying that it's not just that it's what they're saying is that the information is stored. That it's
stored on the back of my car. The license plate's on the back of my car. Anybody can see it.
Right. Nobody but you and Danny Jones admire J.D. Vance. He has zero charisma. He's surly with his face frozen in a perpetual scowl, and he obviously bungled the talks with Iranian leaders. He would go down in flames in a presidential election. Number one,
he was in the Marine Corps, wasn't he?
I think he was in the military. I know. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm not exactly sure. But number one, I just said that he's normal. That's all I said about J.D. Vance is that he comes across as being normal. Text says Brian Hook's net worth is roughly between $1 million and $5 million, Danny.
Yeah. Did you get that off the internet?
Well, I'm assuming they did. I mean,
the reason these guys are that Iran has a price on their head is because they put together the package that killed Soleimani. Mm. They did it for Trump and for the country. They deserve to be protected by Trump and by the country. It doesn't matter what their net worth is.
Text says, bring back the metal spikes. Those were helpful. We had some strange texts today.
What metal spikes?
I guess, well, the metal spikes have never gone anywhere. They're still out there, I guess.
Well, I had some loafer rails in the before they redid the park over there.
Yeah.
Because the people were sitting you'd had to walk to the mall, and women would walk to the mall, and there were narrow passages there, and guys would just say awful things to them and intimidate them. So I put these loafer rails on the concrete, and so they couldn't sit there.
Have you followed any of what they have done in this big debate up in the city of Morgantown right now? They're trying to, there are certain members of the city council in Morgantown, Danny, that are trying to outlaw what they call hostile benches, meaning benches, they have specifically put benches in town that you cannot sleep on. Or in certain, not all the benches, but some of them, to keep the homeless or whomever from sleeping on it. There's a move within Morgantown City Council to do away with, I won't say make them illegal, but to do away with all of those things to keep the homeless from sleeping on them, and people are up in arms over it and saying,
I thought Mondami was the mayor of New York.
So I'm going to take it, if you were still mayor, that's not something that you would support.
I would support it.
No, I mean, doing away with them. You have a problem?
No, but I don't understand. They're benches. Are you, can you sit on them during the daytime?
Yeah, you can sit, but they're not conducive to laying on. That's the point, is that there may be like a rail in between, like if it's a two-seater, so to speak, that there might be a rail in between.
Yeah, you could also have benches with armrests.
Mm-hmm.
You with me? Metal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying there. Yeah.
No, I'm for, there's another one. A socialist is going to get nominated in Michigan.
Yes, I saw that.
And Mike Rogers could win that seat. Mm-hmm. Republicans aren't going to have a good year. I'm more confident now that Susan Collins will be reelected.
If take politics aside of it, most people that just do this for a living say the midterms are going to be a bloodbath, and it ain't going to end up well for the Republicans.
I don't think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think the Republicans are going to lose. I think they're going to come out on the bottom end. Oh, by the way, Jeffries had a conference call with Bernie Sanders trying to get him to stay out of the House races.
Not going to do it.
No.
All right. Danny Jones, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Yeah.
And we'll have you back next week. How's that?
I hope so.
All right. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Attorney General J.B. McCuskey will stop by the show. Follow the news of the day, WVMetroNews.com and WCHSNetwork.com as well. I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and myself. Meadows and Wilson coming up with Talk Line. Ryan Nicholson, our producer. Thank you so much. I will see you later today. Until then, have fun. I love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.